What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Boo TV. I appreciate you for stepping in. The New York Knicks are now 2-0 in the finals with a thrilling Game 2 victory in San Antonio, 105-104. Now, this video I'm putting out now is specifically about Victor Wembanyama because this is what I want to talk about. And if you've been watching my past Wemby videos, especially the ones here recently, I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead horse, but as long as it's an issue, I'm going to keep talking about this until I'm tired of talking about it and I don't want to talk about it no more. Victor Wembanyama finished the game with 29 points on 11 for 21 shooting. Not bad, right? 2 for 6 from three-point land, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, 2 steals, 4 blocks. Now, just looking at the box score, you might say, well, Wemby did what he was supposed to do. 29 points, pretty good. 4 blocks, pretty good. 9 rebounds, and it's okay. But if you watch the game, you would think differently. Wemby turned it on in the second half. More so the third quarter than even the fourth quarter. But again, this is one of my issues with Wemby. He waits till the last minute sometimes to start turning it up and being more aggressive. And a lot of the times, it's a little bit too little, too late. You should have turned it up earlier. You should have came out the gate with this type of mentality and this kind of aggressiveness. Why are you waiting till your back is against the wall with limited time left to act like that animal? It's crazy to me. In the first half of the game, Victor Wembanyama took 4 shot attempts. 4. And it wasn't like he was 0 for 4. I believe he was 2 for 4. Just complete lack of aggression. At times, I forgot he was even on the floor. And the New York Knicks were just attacking him all game. Yes, there were times where his presence was keeping the Knicks out the paint or redirecting them or the basketball back outside the three-point line. All that stuff is great. Wemby's a great defensive player. I understand all that. But they were still taking it to him and getting physical with him, moving him around, bodying him, meeting his length with strength. And I would say the Knicks were largely successful in doing so, especially Cat, especially OG, and especially Robinson, bullying him around the block. During the halftime show, Chuck and Shaq got into a disagreement. Chuck was saying that Wemby was just shell-shocked, stunned, and then Shaq was saying he's just not being aggressive. And I agree with Shaq. Check out the clip.
Look, there's no disrespect intended when I say this, but if you had not watched an NBA game and you said, wait until you see this guy who's all that, Victor Wembanyama, he hasn't shown any of that in a game and a half in this series. How come?
And I agree, Ernie. I'm surprised. I thought he was going to come out with a little more aggression, being at home, others, the fans involved. He didn't take his first shot the first 4 minutes of the game. Right here, I'm going to show you, 2 of his plays. Right here, he fakes it, takes it to the hole. I think he can do that every time. I'd like him to throw it down. And right here, he's not even running hard enough for me. When you're by yourself, you're not being touched, you got to run. And look, I don't like you shooting those threes. Of course, when they go and everybody, wants to say you're all ready to go. But right now, look, guys don't really get on the ball, but he's not showing me anything right now. And again, I'm actually surprised. Chuck, I know you said he's 22, but hey, yeah. 22 means more energy to me.
No, that doesn't mean that, Chuck. Physicality. Listen, Shaq, I'm not trying to take a shot at you.
He's playing with energy, that's all I'm saying.
He's in shock right now.
Is he playing with energy, yes or no?
He's in shock.
Chuck, is he playing with energy, yes or no?
I'm not going to question the kid's energy. I'm just saying, Carl is punching him right now, and he's staggered. He's going to own the league, but he's 22 years old. He's never been in the finals. Shaq, you're one of the greatest players ever. Your first year in the finals, you got swept. It happens. He's 22, but right now, Cat is playing with so much
Kenny, my first time in the finals, did I not play with aggression or did I play with aggression the whole time?
No, listen, you did. However, can I say this? And this is no knock against him because he was a great player, Nick Anderson. But when he missed those free throws, he became in shock. We were so worried about Nick Anderson when we walked into that series. And throughout that series until he missed it, Cat is in it. Cat has him
in shock.
Yes.
That's it.
100%.
A great player is in shock. Nick Anderson was a great player at that time. He became in shock.
Let me say this, too.
And I went on YouTube, I went in the comment section, and I responded to that segment. And this is what I said. People should not be surprised by this. This has been Wemby most of his career so far. Inconsistent offensively with aggression and settling for jumpers. Shaq is right. When you actually watch Spurs games and not just watch Wemby highlights, you'll see the truth. And then some bozo responded, they still beat the reigning champs. What does that have to do with anything? I definitely responded back to him. I said, the Lakers beat the reigning champs 4-1 in 2008 and lost in the finals. What's your point? What's your point? Are we raising banners for beating the defending champions prior to the finals? Is that the bar now? Well, given the Spurs celebration after winning the Western Conference Finals, he might be on the bandwagon with that response. Oh, and by the way, Shaq, don't try to compare what Wemby's doing to what Shaq was in the finals against Hakeem Olajuwon. Yeah, Hakeem beat him in the 1-on-1 matchup. Yeah, the Rockets won. But Shaq did not have a lack of aggression. And Shaq still was a force to be dealt with and still got his numbers, but Hakeem was just better. So, not a fair comparison. But this is what I've been saying for a while now. If you watch Spurs game, this is true to what Wemby has been most of his career. It was really bad, really, really bad when he first came into the league. His first 2 years, 2.5 years, rather. And then after that, he started migrating a bit more to the paint and using his size to his advantage, especially this season. But he still resorts back to those old habits too often. Inconsistent aggressiveness, inconsistent using his size in the paint. How do you come out the gates not swinging, down 1-0 and you have home court advantage and you're Victor Wembanyama? How do you not come out the gate ready to put your stamp on the game? And don't tell me that he doesn't know, because in his interviews, his post-game pressers, his pre-game pressers, he acknowledges his shortcomings and he says, I got to come out and be better. I got to come out and be more aggressive. I got to come out and be me. Be the best version of us. Be the best version of our team. Blah, 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 blah. And then, where is it at? That sounds like a dog with all bark and no bite to me. And the fact that he was able in this game to turn it on in the second half and still put some decent numbers in the box score tells me that he's capable of doing this. Like, the lack of aggression was wild. Let me tell you what I saw. And I'm not going to be able to find a video clip of this on YouTube because it didn't end in a made possession. But let me tell you what he did. I was watching the game and he did this a couple times. No, a lot of times, especially in the first half. When it comes to lack of aggression, I'm not even talking scoring. Spurs have the basketball. Wemby's not even boxing out in the paint. He's not. I'm looking at Wemby outside the box with his hands on his hip like this and the offense is going on. One of the Spurs players takes a jump shot. Wemby doesn't even look to see if the shot goes in the basket, let alone attempt to box out and try to get a rebound. He just started running back to the other side of the basketball court before even acknowledging if the shot went in or not. I'm not making this up. This happened during the game. Not once, but quite a few times. And I was like, this guy cannot be serious. 7'5"? And you're not even looking to the basket to see if your player made it and the guy missed the shot. Wemby wasn't there for the rebound. He was at half court damn near. Oh my God. I'm like, what? And I tell you, that Knicks physicality and that Knicks defense got him all locked up. Got him pressed. He don't even want to try to box anymore. Not like he gave much effort in the first place, because he rarely provides resistance to physical contact. I'm not a Wemby hater. I love Wemby. He's one of my favorite players. Look, do I understand that he's 22 years old? Not many 22-year-olds find themselves in this position as the best player on the team. I get all that. But the fact of the matter is, many people are calling him the best player in the league. I've never said that. A lot of people started crowning him that after his Game 1 performance against OKC. I wasn't going there. Do I acknowledge that he's one of the best players in the league? Absolutely. But if you're on that tier, you're going to get criticized appropriately. I don't care how old you are, but I can understand your age. I understand that, Wemby's going to get better as the years go on. He's not even close to being the best version of himself. I hope I'm correct. History tells us great players tend to trend that direction more oftentimes than not. Like, he's not even close to his prime yet. I get that, but still, you are that good. You are that talented. I expect you to perform as such, especially when you show us glimpses and performances, whether it's in a quarter, a half, or an entire game. You show us the talent that we know you are and which you are capable of. I'm going to critique you as such. I'm going to give you your praise when you play good, and I'm going to critique you when you play bad, whether I like you or I don't. So don't come on here calling me a Wemby hater, because I've always showed love for Wemby and rooting for Wemby. Cut it out. Some of these Wemby people are turning like LeBron people. I'm telling you. I'm seeing it. Even at 22 years old, do I feel like, given his talent, he should be the best 22-year-old I've ever seen? I feel like that. Is he the best 22-year-old basketball player I've ever seen? Absolutely not. I do not think he's better than 22-year-old LeBron James. Hate me for that comment as much as you want. I don't care. And I understand what he is defensively, but the complete lack of aggression on offense so often, I can't put him ahead of a 22-year-old LeBron. And I understand LeBron at 22 flamed out in the finals as well against the Spurs. I get it. I'm not putting him ahead of a 22-year-old Michael Jordan. Not putting him ahead of a 22-year-old Magic or Larry. I'm not putting him ahead of a 22-year-old Tim Duncan. Give me 22-year-old Tim Duncan right now on the Spurs. I promise you, they would not be down 0-2 with home court advantage. I promise you that. I promise you. He wasn't better than 22-year-old Kobe Bryant. And miss me with the Kobe had Shaq bullshit. Okay, Kobe at 22 was a wrecking ball in those NBA playoffs. Go watch the footage. You can make an argument he carried the team up until the finals, and Shaq took a major advantage of the center position against the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. Go look at the footage, and I've put videos out about this before, okay? Kobe Bryant at 22 was a menace. And even when Shaq was injured, when Shaq wasn't on the floor, when Shaq wasn't around, Kobe carried that team. Kobe was doing Kobe things. Kobe was getting Kobe numbers with or without Shaq. Point blank, period. Fuck your narratives. All right, back to Victor Wembanyama. I want to see Wemby be great. I want to see it. I do. And even when it comes to three-point shots, I'm happy he ended the game with only 6 three-point field goal attempts. But in the beginning, it was looking bad. Like, the first couple of threes he hit, I think the first 3 or 4, they were all misses. 3 or 4, and they were clunkers. They weren't even close. And I'm like, good Lord, what is going on? And he eventually hit one. And then that 3 that he took in clutch time at the baseline when there was still more time left, I'm like, horrible shot. He airballed it. Horrible shot. And I'm not even going to get into the turnover in the fourth quarter. He passed it up court to a player that wasn't even looking. Jalen Brunson intercepts it, then fouls him. Not even getting into that. I think that's just bad decision making, obviously, and not really knowing what to do in that position. I think Wembanyama has the ability, has the opportunity to go down as the greatest basketball player of all time by time his career ends. I truly believe that. Many people call Victor Wembanyama a once-in-a-generation player. And I get where they're coming from. But I'm going to start parsing words here. I'm not calling him a once-in-a-generation player until he shows me that he can earn that title. I'm calling him a once-in-a-generation talent, which means that the talent is obviously there. The potential is obviously there. He has shown it, but he's not consistent with it. And he has these barriers that are preventing him from being labeled a once-in-a-generation player. Once you do that consistently, then I can say that is the player. Now that player has arrived. Not yet. Once-in-a-generation talent? Absolutely. He'll show it sometimes, but it's not always there. We got a guy that is here 97% of the time all season long defensively, but maybe 50% of the time here offensively. Starting to sound like Anthony Davis, but at a much higher level than AD. I find it funny that, for a large portion of Wemby's career so far, and when I've been yapping about these same very things, there were people that used to tell me, oh, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. The league isn't played like that no more. He doesn't need to be in the paint. He doesn't need to be in the post. He doesn't need to use his size. This isn't the NBA anymore. Just shut up, old man. Go in your house and shut up. Nobody wants to hear that. Now that the Spurs are on the big stage in the playoffs, and even more so in the finals, now that people are actually seeing how Wemby is game to game, instead of just seeing highlights, now people are saying the same things I have been saying for a long time. Go figure. I also find it funny how some of these media people I've been seeing on TV are giving him so many excuses. Like, he's tired, he's this, he's that, he's fatigued. I was like, nobody wants to hear that in the playoffs. Suck it up. You know how many people are tired in the playoffs and play through it? That's mental. Mind over matter, baby. And then one of the excuses I'm hearing by some media members is they are using his inconsistency as an excuse. I'm like, I do not believe what I'm hearing. They're saying that, oh, ain't no big deal. He had a bad game, but what have we seen from Wemby? He usually bounces back the next game, or within the next 2 games, he bounces back. He'll be all right. No big deal. I'm like, that is not an excuse, especially with the talent of Victor Wembanyama. That is not an excuse. You cannot turn that into a positive, sir. That is not a good thing when you are a player of that caliber. Blows my mind. One thing you can never accuse me of is not being honest about any basketball player, whether I like them or I don't. It doesn't matter. I keep it 100 with everybody. A guy that a self-proclaimed Karl Anthony Towns hater is loving what Karl Anthony Towns is doing right now, and I'm happy for him. That's going to be my next video. Anyway, I'm done here. Thank you for stepping in. Voice your opinion. Do you agree or do you disagree? Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.